Space Coconut.
You are a killer. You have been tasked by the entity to hunt down and sacrifice every survivor before they can escape. In order to achieve this objective, you must do the following: patrol the map and find survivors, chase, injure, and down survivors as quickly as possible, carry survivors to a sacrificial hook, and hang them for the entity to consume. Meanwhile, survivors will attempt to repair 5 generators in order to power the exits and make their escape. You must do everything in your power to stop them. Before you enter the fog, you must select a killer and a loadout of perks and add-ons for your power. Perks and add-ons are unlocked in the Blood Web by spending blood points. Blood points are earned during the course of a match. Iridescent shards are also earned during a match and can be spent to purchase some DLC and character cosmetics. RX cells are a purchasable currency available to purchase all DLC and cosmetics. Once you start a lobby, you'll be able to see the survivors you'll be facing in the match and the items they have chosen to bring with them. Now that you're in the fog, it's time to hunt those survivors. In the lower left corner, you are shown the 4 survivors' status and their names. The images will change depending on their status: healthy, injured, downed, hooked, sacrificed, or killed. Some killers will also cause the portraits to signal when a survivor is affected by a killer's power, such as the Doctor, the Plague, Freddy, and the Pig. Here, you can see how many generators are remaining, along with your power and the add-ons you've applied to it. Each time a generator is completed, there's a loud chime and a notification of which gen was completed. On the bottom right is your current perks and their status. Some perks are lit up and always active. Others will activate or deactivate under specific circumstances, and some will only be available or active for a short period of time, signified by a red timer. In the bottom center of the screen is the action prompt and bar. And this will remind you what button to use in order to use your killer power, as well as show you how long it will take in order to complete an action like kicking a generator or setting a trap. On the right are any status effects that you might be affected by. Refer to the help screen if you're interested in learning about all the status effects available to you as a killer. The best way to find survivors is to patrol gens, since the survivor's primary objective is to repair generators. The entity helps you with this by highlighting all generators in a red aura at any distance on the map. Various perks will influence the aura of a generator to be white or yellow as well. Be sure to read the descriptions of the perks you use to see if and how they will affect the various auras in the game. If you find a generator survivors have been working on, you can kick it to force it to regress. This can bring a generator back to 0 completion if a survivor doesn't stop it. If a survivor fails a skill check, or makes a loud noise like vaulting a window or pallet at full speed, or slamming a chest or locker door shut, you are given a noise notification that you can use to determine the location of a survivor. Survivors that run leave scratch marks that you can see for a short period of time. Use these to help you locate where a survivor might have gone, but they're not precise, so don't rely on them too much if you're chasing a survivor. Injured survivors will leave behind blood trails and make more noise, which can help you track them much easier. Once you do find a survivor, the chase music will begin, and it's up to you to finish the chase as quickly as possible to stop the survivors from escaping. Survivors can vault windows and pallets faster than the killer can, so it's necessary to outmaneuver them in these situations. Dropped pallets must be broken if you want to pass through them. Mind gaming survivors who run through these obstacles is a skill you must learn in order to successfully down survivors before they can escape or their teammates can complete generators. There are many resources available on YouTube to help you accomplish this task, since every killer ends chases differently and utilizes different tactics. Be sure to check those out if you have any trouble with any particular killer. Downed survivors can be picked up and carried to a hook. Survivors must be hooked 3 times in order to be fully sacrificed to the entity. The auras of hooks will appear once you pick up a survivor in order to make it easier for you to locate a hook and put your survivor on it. Be quick though. Survivors can wiggle off your shoulder if you don't make it to a hook in time. Hooks with survivors are highlighted in a yellow aura. Like generators, these are points where survivors are likely to go in order to rescue their teammates. Use this knowledge to plan your next movements to get the rest of the survivors. Survivors can be moried by the killer by using a mori offering or a perk. Moried survivors are removed from the match immediately. Survivors in the dying state can also bleed out if they are not picked up by another survivor, which will also remove them from the match. There are two ways the Endgame Collapse will begin. Either all 5 generators are repaired and the exit gates are opened by the survivors, or you close the hatch. Once the Endgame Collapse begins, survivors have 2 minutes to escape or the entity will claim them. A downed or hooked survivor will slow the timer, allowing the remaining survivors to perform a heroic rescue or escape, leaving their teammate to their fate. The hatch will appear under one of 2 conditions. 1. If the number of generators repaired is greater than the number of survivors left alive. And 2. If only 1 survivor is left alive, no matter how many generators are repaired. If 1 survivor is alive, and you find the hatch before they do, you can close it, preventing their escape through it, but they will still be able to escape if they open the gates. During the match, if you're able to spot the hatch, be sure to remember its location so you can beat the remaining survivor to it later on. At the end of a match, you are shown how many blood points you earned during the course of the match, your emblem scores, your devotion experience, and most importantly, the loadouts your opponents were using during the match. Once you're finished here, you can return to the loadout screen to begin a new match, or select a new challenge if you're working through the archives. The Rift and Archives are outside the scope of this video since they often require advanced perks and tactics that a new player may not have access to, as well as specific characters to be unlocked in order to fully complete the challenges. Be sure to look for online resources to learn more about these systems in depth if you're interested in them. There is definitely much more to learn about Dead by Daylight, but you are now ready with the bare basics to fulfill your duty to the entity. Don't worry about how the match goes. Even the best players started right where you're starting now. The only difference is that now, you have this guide to help you start your journey. Time and practice will bring you the rest of the way. I hope you found this guide useful. I certainly enjoyed making it for you. Until next time, I'll see you in the fog.